Hello and welcome everyone, and we are back for another session of D&D. We are Group 3 from PlayUp Legends, and today is our fourth session. And with me, my players. I am Don Chap, and I'm gonna pass on the opportunity for everyone to introduce themselves.
I am Ennis, a disgraced dwarven fighter, noble, and militia captain, saddened by the discovery of his brother's death and seeking to free his family from rival clan Suranat.
I am Odd, the once tiefling bard turned rogue, trying to find his family and recover 10 missing years from his life.
I'm Merrin, a human wizard on a quest to become a great illusionist.
I'm Tlomax Thunderhorn, a Firebow cleric of the Tempest cleric of the Devourer. I've been shunned from my village and I'm in search for other like-minded followers in the Thunder Sea.
And that's the party, everyone. Hello and welcome to another session. How are you all feeling?
Good.
I'm excited.
Bear's like, ah! It's like...
We always feel terrified.
That's okay. So just a quick recap for our viewers. Last time we were sent to Odd's village, the Redhorn Divide, where basically it was being used by Ennis's clan after being defeated in their civil war, and they took refuge in the Redhorn Divide. Where Ennis reunites with one of his brothers and he meets with his old mentor. A bit of a dispute between the dwarves since Merrin is a human and being, Ennis being seen with a human was a no, is a very bad thing to see this dwarf with any human. After the misunderstanding through the trickery and mischievous ideas of Odd and Merrin disguised, they managed to free Ennis from certain death, and then it led to an emotional moment where Ennis discovers that one of his siblings has passed away. Later on, he discovers that it is at the hands of the traitorous ex-best friend at this point, right, Ennis?
Yeah, definitely.
Odd also reunites with one of his closest friends. However, he could not find his other friend, Beaky, until later on, once the dwarven army said, listen, this is going to be a big problem for this small village. We will move further to the east, and the party decided to go to the west to seek out Beaky, which they did find. However, the encounter did not go as so expected. Something that should have been reuniting two friends ended up in a horror story, and the trauma of Beaky losing her wings to Odd's hand for some reason or another. After interrogating Merrin really quickly through a spell of truths, in a way, she has learned that she can trust the party, but keeping a close eye on Odd. As you all help Beaky make your tents, as you did not carry tents despite the suggestion she actually made. And once again, you did not expect this encounter to be a long one. You also make camp in the beginning of the Flatlands, and this is a moment where Beaky is sitting at the fire, looking straight into the flames, as you have an opportunity to roleplay.
I go over and sit next to her. I stand next to her and say, is it okay if I sit here?
She looks up to you. Yes. Please, find a seat.
Thanks. I sit down next to her. Oh, I know this is pretty awkward, but thanks so much for agreeing to stick around and talk to us tomorrow.
She gazes into the fire, unresponsive.
Are you, I guess, stupid question to ask if you're feeling okay? Is there something we can do to help you feel more comfortable?
My dear child, unfortunately, there's nothing that can ease the traumatic experience I suffered at the hands of my once friends. I only hope that at least once we reach the next city, there might be someone who might be able to help him.
Oh, you think you can take us somewhere where that can happen?
I have traveled these lands many a times. Up in BrokeWood, you might find a few people who might help your friends.
What do you think is going on with him?
Last time I encountered him, last time I had my wings, there was something strange, something almost demonic about him. His eyes were completely black as the dark of night. He didn't even speak, he just hissed and gargled, and I tried to snap him out of it, but as I embraced him in a hug, little did I know that he had a dagger at the ready to tear off both my wings in a matter of seconds. It is then that I fled.
I'm so sorry that I can't even imagine how that felt and still feels.
It was
You think,
excruciating pain.
what did you do then?
I headed back to my village and sought out medical treatment immediately. I lost a lot of blood at the time. Again, I did not expect to see my friend, and especially under those circumstances, and thankfully I was not too far from the village. I got treated, and I still live, as you, well, I'm here amongst the living. She kind of laughs nervously. I just continued my journey as a druid, making myself stronger and stronger if ever that moment were to arise again against. What does he go by these days?
You know him as Odd?
What an appropriate name.
We called him, or Draz called him Azazel.
Azazel it is. That was his birth given name.
Actually, Draz didn't say anything about what happened between Odd and you. Does he know? That
I'm
Odd did
surprised
that
he
to you?
doesn't remember. He definitely seemed to know what he was doing at the time.
Draz? We ran into Odd's other friend in the village.
Draz said it wasn't him. I was certain. I recognized him, despite the few years that he went missing.
So that's why.
Draz
Sorry,
had
go on.
no idea. Draz didn't even believe me. He said it must have been a double ganger, or I mistaked the person to be another tiefling. But I know Azazel. I recognized him. Did Draz not recognize Azazel in the village? I'm sure he did.
No, he did. But when we asked after you, he didn't say anything. She might not want to see us.
Well, Draz is a bit dense.
Oh. So you think this might be a session of some kind?
Possessions usually take over completely. And while at the time it did seem so, seeing him in such a condition, it might be something else. Then again, it's people at BrokeWood that will have to examine him and, make the outcome of the situation. And then treat him accordingly, if he accepts the treatment.
I think he really wants this to end. Do you remember anything about the time when he disappeared? And is there anything weird going on?
Well, when he disappeared, his parents soon after packed everything, gave their house away, and just went out to search for him. We haven't seen him for a good number of years. The incident only happened perhaps 5 years after his disappearance, maybe less. Who could tell? Time is a funny thing.
Hmm. What was he like as a kid? It sounds like you were quite close.
He was mischievous, as all children were. We were good friends. And she smiles, you see the beak kind of shift into a smile. Those were good days, simpler days. We used to play, go out in the forests, and just play adventure. He always was easily distracted. The simplest of things would attract him and get him into trouble. Not the first time he lost his way, and if it wasn't for Draz, as dense as he is, to actually drag him back to the village, he would have been lost long time ago. And I assume it would be because of this reason that he would have went missing. But we haven't seen him for a very long time until the reappearance and his misfortune comings onto myself.
So you don't remember him behaving differently than usual right before
When
he disappeared or anything like that?
I'm afraid not. He seemed like any regular child. No sign of trouble other than the, childish behavior, but nothing alarming as a violent individual.
Do you feel ready to talk to him, or do you want to wait a bit longer?
I don't feel ready.
Of course, whatever you want is fine. I know this can't be easy for you.
She looks over at Ennis and Clomax at this point. It's like, so, what brings a strange party like yourselves this far out?
Well, we're here mainly because we were sent by our quartermaster to check out the village and to check out we the brooch that we found in our previous
We're,
sesh-
we're, most,
escapade.
we're mostly sent here because something happened to Odds. And whatever is inside him just seems to have become more prominent, more powerful.
I see. So you are here to help Odd?
Find out more about
Yes.
what happened to him, and yes, At the end,
Mm.
most probably it will mean help him out.
Very well. Well, I hope that my contribution would suffice. Taking you to Brokewood, it might actually be the right decision for him. I just love how we're
Point.
treating him like a mental case at this point. Sorry,
Yeah.
just breaking character
Well,
for a moment, right?
well, considering what was happening last session,
Where is Odd at this moment, by the way?
Well, you decide. There's the map. There's the campfire.
Am I still in the fire?
No, I moved you
no.
out. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Odd.
can you guys rearrange yourselves on the map just so we have a proper idea of who's sitting next to who and where is everyone during this conversation next to the campfire? I know Marin wanted to be next to her earlier. Can you guys move your pieces okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'd imagine Odd was quite near the campfire, but when he heard her say that she's not ready to talk to him, he would have walked away.
Okay, alright.
He would have found. Are there trees here?
No, there isn't. So the flatlands are a well,
Flat.
well, it's not really flat. It's rubble, stone, but there's no trees, there's no forest, there's nothing that could help hide you. I mean, you could find an occasional big rock that you want to maybe sit behind, a boulder of sorts.
Behind
Yeah.
Clomax.
Or yeah, or hide behind Lomax at this
That would
point.
be sufficient.
Wait.
No, he would. I think he would go out of earshot so as to not hear anything else that will deeply hurt him. And he would take out his journal and start reading the passages that was before he disappeared.
Okay, run the audience through what there is in the journal at this point.
So Eric Beaky gave Odd this journal when he was 9. And this section of the journal is just, as she said, Odd was quite mischievous. Odd lost his way quite a lot of times, and there are countless stories written about the misadventures that they used to have together. The stealing pastries from people's houses, getting lost in the woods, playing hide and seek, and as she mentioned, Odd getting lost in the process because he's chasing after some lizard he found or something colorful and weird that he never saw before. It's basically just a 9-year-old exaggerating stuff that they used to do together and writing in such length that anyone else would find it extremely boring. But he's trying to comfort himself with these good memories that he won't ever find again. He knows that he will never find those types of memories again.
All right, everyone. It's just a few minutes past that Beaky was expressing this conversation with Marin, and you guys have expressed that you're here to help Odd with his situation, whatever that may be. Is there anything else that you guys Want to take the opportunity while you still can before you head to Beaky's tents for some sleep?
So, I suppose we know that she's, well, from how she looks, we know that she's quite a powerful druid, I suppose.
Well, the fact that she managed to multi-summon three, was it three? Four
Mhm.
vines and holding you in place. She's she has the capability of, yes, being quite one of the powerful druids that you've encountered.
Yes, as well.
So, Beaky was it?
Yes,
Uh,
I go by the nickname Beaky
ah,
in my village because I'm the only
uh,
one with a beak.
ah, so quite a good nickname then.
Indeed,
Uh,
quite fitting. I think
I
Odd's new name is fitting too, she says sarcastically.
I'm quite conversant in healing powers and nature stuff myself, but knowing you and I've seen what you've done quite moments ago, it seems that you're quite capable yourself in your druidic nature. Would I right? Would I be right in that regard?
She nods and, mm-hmm, yep. I have been training excessively day to day in my years. Where is this question leading to, my
Like
forebog friend?
I mentioned recently, like,
You're
we
cutting,
had the
Clomax, you're really cutting out for me, bro.
sorry, bro. I'll try and see what I can do, bro. So I had mentioned previously that in our last excursion from the quartermaster, we had found an item, a brooch, which had affected Odd, and that's the primary reason that we've been sent here. Retrieving that brooch has not only affected Odd, it's also slightly has affected both myself and Ennis in that the previous owner of the brooch was quite caustic, you may say, in nature, and I show her
Okay,
my foot.
Clomax, really quickly, can you just move the mic away from me? Because,
Yes, I saw the note.
alright.
Sorry, that was too close.
Yes, way too much. Um, she looked a bit worried when you mentioned, like, brooch affecting Odd, now affecting you, and it's like, great, three demented people. What? But do you show her your leg?
Yes, I lift up the and show her the leg.
Her eyes widen, and as she looks at your disfigured skin, hair no longer there, just this really severe, like burning, but like almost acidic. She looks up to you and back at the thing, and while looking at it and examining it further, um, unfortunately, my dear Forbolg, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not proficient in healing. That looks that looks some looks like something you need looked at by some arcane healer or something of the sort. I That right there is no ordinary acidic burn. That is when corruption in its purest form touches flesh. That's what happens to it. It must be quite tender. She
Oh,
reaches out like one of her her talons hands and kind of just gently scrapes against it, causing this kind of sharp pain that makes you kind of pull back.
Okay.
It doesn't
Okay.
inflict any damage, right? It's just very tender to the touch.
Hmm. Good to know. Hopefully, then we might be able to find something and someone in Brokewood that might help out me and Dennis apart from Odd.
Well, Brokewood, despite being, how can I say this? It is a very densely populated place with multiple talents. Um, and it seems to have been the only way that people from the west, from the King's Lands, managed to cross over, avoiding the Elden Reaches completely. So, yeah, you might find someone from the city that might actually help you and Ennis if and she kind of looks over to Ennis as like, Ennis, is yours as bad?
He kind of shows the area of his neck which is kind of affected.
Yours is actually
Yeah.
like much more severe than Tlomax's because of the incident that you were directly and the majority of the blood had poured there. So that's Ennis, that could kill you if not treated. I would suggest covering that up with something to avoid getting hits there. And as she kind of stretches back to raise herself, she's like, my dear adventurers, it's getting late and we have a long road ahead, and I do not wish to pause at any point during our journey up north to Brokewood. Unless you have any further inquiries or questions or anything of the sort, like, I would love to get some sleep.
No, it's good. Yes, sleep, and then we'll get an early start.
An early start sounds good to me. And she makes way to the tent.
You guys go to sleep. I'll,
Mm,
I'll take first watch.
okay.
I
When
can
you
take second.
Odd will take up the end.
Sure.
Is it really safe to let Odd take a walk by himself?
No, we.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
No
Smart.
offense,
No,
Odd.
none taken.
Okay.
DM.
Tell me, player.
Sorry. Um, do I know, does Odd know that he ripped off Beaky's wings?
Um, make make a just give me a roll of a d20. Let's see. Nothing in specific. I just you know.
Oh, 20.
Um, memories that never occurred to you before have kind of all of a sudden just you have access to.
Okay.
Yes, you remember this moment. You remember seeing Beaky. You were hiding in the trees, and the first instinct that you remember having was to basically torture her to death. As Beaky recognized, as Beaky made eye contact with you as she spots you're hiding, she kind of had looked at you and called you out as Azel. The name is unfamiliar to you, and it makes no recollection, which, at the time you remember, it didn't feel like she was calling your name. But immediately, the fact that you felt spotted, you felt threatened even more, and you went to approach her almost as if to intimidate. You can't really recollect these feelings as being your own, but you know they were there. And the next thing you know is she wanted to embrace you in a hug, to which this dagger that you held in your hand, you don't know how long it's been there, you just know it was always there. The minute she grasped you into an embrace, you immediately just tore off with one strike, one, and then immediately straight up the other. So almost like this motion of which she screamed in pain and pushed you back with a force of wind from her druidic powers. There was a moment where she was trying to communicate with you, but it was just like this echoey sound. You can't recollect what she was saying. That's as far as your memory takes you, as you just kind of remember, like you parted ways as she ran off, and you just kind of backed away, back into a wooded area of darkness. This is what the memory brings to you.
We'll say I got that now as we're talking at the campfire while I was reading the journal.
This is when you were trying to. When you have those moments you try to go back in your memory and try to replay moments, where before you would not have any recollection is just blank, and this frustration of like, I know it's there, I don't have access, is just all of a sudden there.
Yes. So as soon as this happens, I walk over to Marion and I say, Marion, I think I can remember. Did I cut her wings off?
Yes, you did.
Jesus. This is.
I've told her that it wasn't really you. It was that thing, whatever it is. I know
Doesn't
you.
really matter, does it?
It does.
It was my hands.
Your hands, but not you.
I ruined her life. And
It ruined her life. You see how you're feeling right now? That's a sign that it wasn't really you.
I think I would have been better off not remembering this. It's so vivid, the blood. And I swear I could remember feeling joy out of it. Ugh. No, no. No, 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 no. Okay.
What?
The pleasures, the pleasures, the pleasures.
Ugh.
The blood, the blood.
I should. The fucking pleasure is. Oh.
Do it again, Azazel.
Oh. Do you have wings that I can rip off?
So, Max,
Yes.
I'm a bit worried about Odd right now. Could you come over here?
Yeah. Want me to punch him in the face? The best thing I can do for now.
He's talking a little bit strange. Odd, are you okay? I know you're not okay, but what's going on, Odd?
No, it's obviously the voice that I've been hearing thought this would be a very adequate point of time to pick on me a bit.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
right.
and I'm just. It fills my head.
Have you noticed any Any pattern as to when it speaks to you?
Seems to like violence.
But we're not being violent right now.
Violence,
Violence.
memories, violence, conversations. We've had these.
So it's kind of spying on you all the time, and then it comes out when you think or hear or see violence.
She talks too much. She talks too much.
You talk to
Shut her. Shut. Tongue out. Tongue out. Rip it.
um,
Rip it. Rip it. Rip it. That's it.
I won't. Taking tongues out isn't what I do. Okay.
I take 2 steps back.
Yeah, I take 2 steps back as well.
I hit Odd in the face.
Okay.
No!
Smart.
I get a 6, so
No!
I get a net 1.
Lomax, maybe tying me up would be smarter. Maybe violence will bring it out. I don't know. But
A good point.
let's avoid confrontations.
You are weak. You are weak. You must find it again.
Find what again?
Venus P1.
This is getting worse. Okay,
Go to sleep.
it just asked me
You
to
don't need rest.
be one with it.
So, Max, have you still got that rope?
Yeah, I
Never had rope.
I
yeah,
have rope.
I take out my rope and I just give it to Clomax and I say, you know what you have to do. Keep it tight, but obviously don't cut my blood off. I won't be comfortable. But make sure I can't.
Try to save him, not kill him. So.
Yeah, I don't want to lose a limb.
We can heal you back.
Actually, before I do this, Clomax, can you walk with me and make sure that I don't do anything not me, anything bad?
Yeah.
Should we take any
I'll
weapons away from you?
Yeah, sure. I take out my daggers. I take out my crossbow. Do I have something?
I take down the
Yeah. I'll give you my bag of ball bearings as well, just in case. I don't know how creative this thing is.
So, guys, when you're doing these kind of actions, make sure you're taking note of what's going out and what's coming in, so you know what's going on. If you want Ennis, since you're the one taking these, I think, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure that you note its odds if you want to give it back at some point.
Yeah. So daggers. Let's go. What's weapons?
As you guys are having your conversation, something weird happens to the fire. The fire kind of increasingly grows. When it was kind of dying down, it almost becomes as large as Clomax himself. It's not burning per se, as if it's more of like of Clomax. You feel like this magical arcane is happening within the facility as the fire grows, and from the flames, a face familiar to you shows itself. Marin, you feel a vibration in your package, in your backpack, right, or wherever you're keeping the crystal at this point. The familiar face is actually your quartermaster. He calls out to Ennis. Report. Any news?
Well, we're trying to figure it out.
What do you mean trying to figure it out? It's been a day. Report.
Can we all hear it?
Yes, everyone has access to this.
We found the dwarves inhabiting the village, but they have now left and eastward, whilst Our group is heading westward to BrokeWood.
Why? Why are you leaving Redhorn Divide? The reason why you were sent there is for Odd to retrieve his memories. Any progress on that?
That's the
We,
whole point why we're going to BrokeWood.
we,
We've
we met someone who suggested that going to Brokewood could help. And listen,
Where's Odd? He kind of like he's looking around furiously, almost trying to come out of his arcane zone.
I step out from behind Clomax. Yeah. Hey, listen. This we met an old friend of mine who said she could help. I've actually recovered a memory, devastating as it was. It doesn't have anything to do with you, so I won't be sharing it if you don't mind, because it's very private and disturbing. My old friend is very powerful, very wise. She suggested we go to Broke because there might be people who can help figure out what's going on with me.
He takes his attention off Odd. Ennis, how long is this going to take?
we don't know. Okay, we're dealing with things we never met. And I don't understand magic. No. I've had a long day. A lot of horrible things to uncover. Can we just go to rest? Maybe discuss this another time?
I will need a report tomorrow evening. I will make contact with you again. And the fire dims down again as the vibrating crystal Marin is finally calms down, and the fire resides back to its normal dying almost flames.
Dick.
Some people are so rude,
Yeah.
interrupting you with messages.
we are part of the watch.
Imagine everyone had that capability.
Talk to you whenever they want to.
Suck. No privacy.
Constant interruptions.
Okay. Before we go to bed, I would like to walk over to Beaky's tent, staying about a meter and a half away, and I gesture at Lomax to.
You can use the figurines on the map, guys. By the way. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just
move.
you know, you've,
So Beaky's is on the right.
Yep.
yeah.
So I'm gonna be right around here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, Beaky, are you up?
There's no response. Actually, if you all are like dead silent, apart from the crackling, dying of the fire, you actually can hear Beaky just breathe heavily in her sleep.
For another time. Then. Shall we go to bed?
Yes. So,
Better.
Ennis, first watch.
Yeah.
Clomax, are you going to do the honors with the rope, or is that more something Ennis would be better at?
I think I can fashion something out.
Give me a moment to find a comfortable position. Carry on.
So, who's tying him up?
I'll be tying him up.
All right. So, Clomax, your big hands just kind of go round him and round him from above, and tying. Kind of making sure he's secure. And as you're preparing your first watch, how do you prepare for your first watch, military style? What's that like? Give us.
So it would be mostly speaking, standing near the, yes, in this case, the more close to the tents. He he at this time he'd be holding his halberd to the ground, resting a bit on it.
Okay.
Probably right now he's not doing it as military-wise as he should because there's a lot that's kind of going on in his mind. That's where he's taking first watch. He's mostly just and he's trying to pay attention to surroundings. He's also got a lot going on in his mind. He's trying to process what happened during the day, specifically with Niall and uh, his brother being, murdered by him.
Okay, and
So
the rest of you basically go to sleep. Marin, I would assume that you're taking the same tent as Beaky.
Well, she seemed like she wanted to be alone, so
Well,
it didn't really
you're
discuss
definitely not
really.
going. You're not going to fit. From the looks of the tent, you're not all going to fit with Clomax in that tent.
Okay.
I mean, it's your
Fine.
decision. If you want to kind of squeeze in, that's fine. I mean,
I don't want to be like killed by a startled druid in the middle of the night. Eric, you awake?
I can sleep outside, just outside the tent, because I'm quite used to the forest. But then staying
Okay.
outside. So
okay.
Is it okay if I come in?
And you just hear, sure.
Thank you.
As you all set to sleep, Ennis is there standing watch as everyone goes to bed. Clomax, as you deepen into sleep and your consciousness now goes as it always usually does in sleep, just that void of darkness. You feel like you almost reawaken, as if it's time to wake up. But this time you awake on a surface of shallow waters. You're standing above the water, almost as if you can walk on it. And as you look down, you see like these little tadpoles swimming underneath your feet. But something's not right about these tadpoles. Something makes it look like they're not tadpoles. And as you examine them further, one of them kind of turns its round head towards you. But it's not a head that looks at you. It's an eye. A bluish eye. It's as you make gaze with it, it immediately turns back and swims away. And as you look towards where it's swimming, it's almost as if a deep ocean is filled with these eyeballs at the bed of the sea. And as your gaze furthers on, you see a throne and thunder in the sky just coming down, lightning and the clouds lighting up.
Once I see the thunder and lightning, I groan a bit. In the sense that knowing what happens when I am around, and quite dreading the fact that I'm most probably going to get struck by it. But then again,
But the feeling actually is more comforting. Despite that the initial reaction of this is almost like fear, you sense an overwhelming comfort all of a sudden that you know that it won't harm you. You won't be struck by this lightning. And as your gaze furthers up towards the throne, you find yourself almost floating towards it unwillingly. It's almost natural that you're gliding over the sea. And as you come closer to the throne, there's this like ring made out of gold with red crystals spaced out on the circumference. You have this immediate feeling that this is calling you.
I extend my arm and try and reach for it.
as you reach out your arm, the scene actually pulls away from you. And as it pulls further and further away, and you're outside a cave like place, you make it to be the ruins of some deity. And above the inscription in common is written Thale. With the next sound of thunder in your dream, you awaken. It was only Ennis trying to relight the fire.
What was that? It's, I see Ennis by the fire, I suppose. Then,
Yep.
yeah. I think I wake up with bewildered. What happened? And I look at Ennis and they say, uh, "Everything okay? Anything happening here?"
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, no lightning, no thunder, nothing.
Doesn't seem to be a stormy night.
Okay, just my dreams then.
Yeah. Go back to sleep.
Okay, have fun.
Thanks.
You all take turns keeping watch. It was an uneventful watch. The place is bare, no living in sight. And as the day progresses to start from the rise of the sun, that orangey hue, Beaky starts to wake you all up, apart from the last person who stayed watch. It is time to move. We have a long journey ahead. And we're just going to cut to a quick break. And we will be right back, viewers. We will be back in give or take 8 minutes. Okay? So get to your pee breaks, your if you need to get some munchies, get your fixes done. All right, we'll see you back in a few. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So, um, just to update you with what's happening, after a long, beautiful night rest, except for Miskin Clomax in the beginning because of his dream. Other than that, you are all well rested. Um, you had your long rest, so if there's any HP you need to recover from last session, I don't believe there was anyone. Any spells that you might want to rearrange, this might be a moment to do so. As you are traveling upwards into the flatlands, as you're moving along, do you guys really quickly need to change things, or you're okay?
I don't think we're fine.
Cool. Okay. Marin, you're okay there? Awesome. All right. So as you're heading forward north into the flatlands, Beaky turns over to you. Is like, we should be really careful here. There's a pirate bay nearby from where we're passing, and we might fall into. And just before she finishes her sentence, immediately she falls into a trap. Straight down. Marin just missed it, right? She's at the edge, like, whoa. And
Is it far? Like, because if it's deep, I'll cast Featherfall on her.
so, yes, from the looks of it, it's quite deep. So if you want to go ahead and react that way, you can.
I
Perfect.
was gonna
I'm
say,
not
don't
sure
worry,
if
she
I
can
can.
fly.
She can't fly.
I was no, I not
Oh.
odd. Jake. I
Ah,
was going
okay.
to say that.
Okay.
No, not odd.
I'm just saying, like, what?
No. Jake was going to say that.
So you cast Featherfall in reaction to the situation. She slowly starts to descend to the bottom. Um, Thankfully for this, because apparently she's like, she calls out, "Thanks, that saved me a spike or two."
Anytime.
As she says this, two arrows come flying down into the pit, hitting her.
No.
Eric!
And do we see from where they came?
Yes, you do. So if you just bear with me a moment, I'm just going to zoom my map out.
Also, retroactively, Odd would have taken his.
Alright, I haven't given you your stuff. Technically, we have given you your stuff back. I
Nope.
give you your stuff.
You see two archers elevated on top of a large rock, arrows ready. It's like, all right, lads, this is how we're going to play it. Yeah, you either drop your weapons, and we take you captive, and you live, or die trying to survive this. What do you say?
Ennis?
And yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a perception check to see if there are any more people other than these two.
All right, give me a roll, my friend.
Oh. That's a 7.
From what you quickly surround, kind to check, like there doesn't seem any more surprise bandits in the area, just these two guys.
Okay. So,
We're going for them?
I mean, we can. We definitely can.
Guiding
Fine.
bolt second level at the closest one.
All right, so we're doing this, yeah?
She said we can. I'm doing it.
Okay, roll initiative, people. So that's good lay. Okay. All right.
Hard.
Well, okay. Marin's on the top. Jesus, you almost are descending. You have odds.
I'm last.
Then Ennis, then Thomax.
You have bandit number 1. You have Ennis, Clomax, and Bandit number 2. Okay. Uh, Now, despite the orders, since Clomax already wanted to react, we're going to take it from Clomax's point of view, and he's going to finish off this kind of round of doing nothing by doing something. Go ahead, Clomax.
Ah, fucking 10. I miss, bastard.
Yeah, so can you describe what you tried to do in the first place?
With my shield out, I just turn my hand towards him, and the bright, like, white, watery light being like goes towards him, but in the moment it just veers.
Yeah, you miscalculated
Off.
it. Yeah, you wanted it at a certain angle, but with the whole commotion, you overextend your hand upwards, flashing over.
Sorry about that.
I was wondering, it's like,
Sorry about
what's going on?
I was trying to replace that. Sorry.
All right, so the bandit does not take lightly to this. It's like, oh, all right, a fight it is, and he kind of lets loose his arrow. Okay, and that is a
Versus who?
well, he's going to react towards you initially.
Okay.
All right, so that's a 25 against AC.
Okay, 25 hits.
25 hits. All right. So let's go ahead and roll that damage. All right, that would be 6 damage, Slomax. The arrow, as he lets go,
Okay.
immediately just kind of finds your hand and just pierces right through, pushing it back. You know, you kind of have it in your hand at this point, there, penetrating from one side to the other. Up next, Baron.
Could you give me an idea of range and direction?
So if you look at the
Two
map,
watches.
so if you look at the map, it gives you exactly kind of.
Oh,
where
sorry,
you-
I
where you
had the wrong view of it. Okay.
Yeah.
How many feet would you say that is?
So Odd is helping you out with that. It's like Odd,
Sorry.
you were calculating how many feet there was.
Yeah, from Marion. Where is Marion? Here.
Not, yeah.
There's 35
Too
feet to
close
the
is where
first
Marion
one,
is.
42 to the other.
Say that again, 25 and 14.
35 and 40.
35 and 40.
You may want
Okay.
to add another 10 feet to that due to the elevation.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So 45 and 50.
So I am going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Smart.
Good idea.
And then I am going to back up like 10 feet. So
Okay.
I'm now 60 feet away from them. Just under 60.
Okay. Cool. All right. So next up is Odd.
Right. I look. Wait, I have 50 feet. Okay, so I look at the center and I get out a bit of pork rind and a bit of butter from my pack. I slam them together and do like this, and I cast grease over where they're standing. So they have to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 13.
Should they wish to move?
When the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must make a throw or fall prone.
All right. So this is just where they stand. It just appears there, and basically they have to keep their ground.
Yeah.
Okay, just to make sure, is it during their turn or is it just like now immediate?
When the grease appears.
When the
So
grease
I think
appears.
it's immediate.
So immediate. And we need to do a what saving throw?
Dex
Dex-
13.
Dex 13. Ooh, all right. So one of them is unaffected by it, and the other one as well. They kind of both laugh at you and go like, "We're sailors. We are used to being all shaky." As one of them responds, the other one's still holding the arrow. Is like, "Oh, good to know my next shot," and he lets go of his arrow. And the arrow completely misses off target.
my turn wasn't ready.
Hmm?
Can I take my movement?
Yeah,
No?
go ahead.
Okay. Awesome. So I will move over here.
Okay.
Do they have visual?
They have entire visual
If
of the whole entire situation, yeah.
right. Okay, so yeah, I'll just stay there then. If I can get.
Ennis, in that case.
So, there are how many feet? I'll check actually how many feet they're away from me. So,
So that movement plus 10.
10. So 65 feet. That's, yeah, 70 feet. So, I'm going to move. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna move as much as I'm gonna move 25, my full 25 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Move somewhere here, right? I think. Actually, no, I'm going to move my effort. Move. I'm going to dash and move 50.
Okay.
That way, I'll be probably somewhere here.
All right.
Dawn, as a side note, each creature that ends its turn there must also succeed. So you know.
Ah, all right.
Sorry.
Can you put that on
Mhm.
roll 20 for me? All right. So one of them succeeded, the other one as well. No problem. I'm not fudging dice. I literally 17 and 16
It's
plus
okay.
their dex.
Sorry.
All right. What? No. You the thing you cost.
That.
Okay, thank you, Tomax. All right, so Ennis, is that how you're gonna end your turn? You dash forward, yeah?
Yeah, I dash forward. I move forward 50 feet
Okay.
towards them.
Cool. All right, we can go to Tlomax, I guess, at this point.
So 25 feet. Let's move 30 feet from there. Sorry, blocking.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I'm casting Sacred Flame on the close one.
Okay, sure.
Needs a Dex save 14.
Dex save 14. 18, natural. So then plus the Dex would have either way passed. So
And I summon my whole spiritual weapon over here in between them. I summon my trident
okay.
and I use it to attack the guy in front for a 17 to hit.
17 does hit. Yes. Okay. Roll for damage.
9 damage. 9 force damage.
Okay. Cool. So hold on. Let me do some maths. Okay. Cool. All right. As the trident appears and kind of like, what the? Immediately. The weird part is that you see like someone holding the trident, right? And performing this. So it's not just you appear as you do it yourself, but almost as if there's this being that is holding the trident and doing it for you.
Okay.
This is only apparent to you, by the way. In the meantime,
Okay.
the other guy
New.
just like,
That's new.
oh no, not again, not this time. All right, so that is aiming towards you, Clomax.
Okay.
That would be a 17.
Miss.
All right, so in the whole situation, it's like, let's go of the thing and just right, above your head, like next to antlers, like. All right, Marin.
I cast a ray of frost on the same guy who Clomax targeted
All
with the
right,
spiritual weapon.
that works. Beautifully. It hits. And is that the damage already? No. Is
Four,
it?
yes, 4 cold damage.
Ooh, okay. So. All right. Second movement. Bonus action.
Um, there's nothing really I can do, so I'm just going to stay there and hope nobody hits me.
All
Like,
right.
can I cast a cantrip as a bonus action? No.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do, so I'm just going to stay there.
Odd.
So there's nowhere I can hide on the battlefield.
Unless you want to hide behind Clomax.
I think only halflings can do
Yeah.
If it helps you on the next round, I can cast like a short-term hiding spot for you.
Perfect.
Then so when we get to the next round, if we're still alive, tell me where you want me to put it.
Alright.
Just somewhere where I can hit them both. It's up to you. But yes, that would be smart.
How close do you need to be?
Odd. There's me and Ennis who are going to go and wallop them close.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I don't even need it. I'm sorry. Bro. Nothing, man. Alright. So I'm going to well, I'm going to try and hit this guy over here.
Okay.
16.
16 misses.
Alright.
17 is the AC.
Okay, then I can't hide, so I'll just stay here for now.
All right.
So-
The one that got attacked by the trident basically makes a quick whistle, and another guy from the back runs into action. Sword and wooden shield at the ready. It's like, I'm giving you one last chance. Surrender, or this is going to be your fatal moment.
I
That
I
would
dropped my
be
stuff.
TPK. TPK.
that would mean that it is Ennis's turn. Ennis, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. There are 3 people,
There.
possibly more coming. I lower my halberd from on the ground, arms raised.
You're just hiding behind, kind of hiding
Yeah,
behind.
I know.
stuff. All right.
I yelled, Ennis, what are you doing?
I'm going to now. That weapon is dropped. That would be a free action, right?
You dropped your weapon. Yep.
Yep. So I'm going to charge at the closest one and grapple.
Well, the only one closest to you is the guy who just appeared on, from the.
Okay, not the closest one. So there should be, unless they moved, one of them should be in reach. One of the other ones.
Well, you're gonna have to climb up the elevation, so you need to do a acrobatics check for me if you want to manage to do that. So you're gonna want to run up and climb up and do your action. So you need an acrobatics check to climb up that piece.
Okay. See how it goes. Okay.
You didn't think this through. You were just like poof, like wait, I had to climb that. Right. Your bonus action.
So I guess just move back. I mean, try and climb it slowly.
That would be yeah. You'd want to be Athletics check still, so.
Okay. Athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, athletics. Shouldn't be a problem, hopefully.
You might want to move your piece, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I will.
Alright, so
I
you.
can't. I have a couple of difficulty moving my piece though, because
Go slow,
Same.
Max. Okay.
yeah, because I have to see my piece.
Okay, so
Yeah, I moved.
there. Alright, so at this point, hold on, let me just fix you up. So at this point, you kind of are climbing up this path up here.
Okay.
10, yes, you kind of find dents within the elevation of the rock and you start climbing up. And we're gonna leave you coming up the edge. In the meantime, Clomax, what are you doing until he's climbing up?
I don't know, I'm trying to find. Man, since I saw the elevation, trying to find the jumping,
Oh, good lord.
because I would like to try to run up and how high is the elevation? 10 feet.
Yeah, it's just 2 feet more than you are, dude.
And so I'd like to try and jump up after taking a 10 foot run.
All right, so what I want, I'm gonna just make fun of this moment here.
Yeah.
So I need you to do an acrobatics check if you're going to jump,
Yeah, I'm going to jump for sure.
especially that height.
11.
Unfortunately, you just kind of notice you're gonna miscalculate and land just underneath. You almost squash Ennis as he's struggling upwards the 10 feet climb. I will give you an allowance of a bonus action if you wish.
So, so we're currently not up there yet. So as a bonus action, I'll continue, since we're going up, to attacking with the trident. Miss.
Yeah,
With a 15.
that definitely missed. So this time you try to kind of control the trident, which is still kind of there. But the blue figure that you saw, the humanoid figure doing it, shakes his head and he dissolves as the trident is just wobbling in the air frenetically. In the meantime, the other guy, the other archer that has not been hit yet, is looking down at Ennis and, kind of readies his shot down and lets go. Now, this is at an advantage. So I have 23, Ennis.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, 23. And that would be 9 damage.
All right.
So he just kind of tries to see a weak spot through your armor and go like, let's see if this hurts. And he kind of lets go of the arrow and it just kind of straight in pierces through your shoulder blade. It doesn't hit the area which is
This is the
tender, right? So it just kind of down into your shoulder, sending you 2 feet a bit down with the impact. The newcomer of the opposing party decides to take a quick walk, striding ready, eyes locked onto odds, and is going to swing his sword at you. He tumbles onto the rough terrain and he kind of like just like, and he doesn't even come close to you at all. You just go like, that goes back to Marin.
Okay. I am going to aim at. I'm going to aim at whoever looks the strongest. Actually, I'll aim at the guy next to Odd because he's got a melee weapon.
Okay.
And I'm going to
Thank
cast. Just because he's just likely to turn on me next turn.
Well,
I'm going to cast an acid arrow.
Ooh, nice. Oh, good lord. So do I have to add 11 and 7 damage? That hits, by the way.
He takes 4d4 acid damage immediately and 2d4 at the end of the next turn.
So 11 now, 7 at the end of his next.
Damn.
And I am going to bonus action shout at the idiot members of my party. There's a pirate stronghold nearby. We're all gonna die if you don't give this up.
Odd, your turn, buddy.
What do you think they're gonna do to capture us? And I turn around. I turn around, and I make a silly face at this guy right next to me, and I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. So you need to make a Wisdom 13 saving throw. No.
Wisdom. Oh, that should be easy. Okay. Ooh, that would be a. Oh, he fails. It's a.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So he falls down prone, laughing. Why every time I use I cast the save? How do I share the spell?
I click on the name.
If you have the
Display? Ah, alright.
Nice.
Displaying VTT. Yeah.
all right. So he falls down, laughing hysterically, right, for no apparent reason. Bonus action, my friend.
Actually, I'm gonna take a step closer towards him, and I can't attempt to hide crouched down behind his body, right?
No.
That's it.
All right. So the guy, the other archer, who's at this point just heavily bloodied by this trident attack, is, looking at the trident, going ferociously left and right with no cause of aiming at anyone. He kind of takes the arrow and he aims it at Tlomax, and he lets the bolt loose. Ooh, oh, you are so unlucky.
4.
It's a nice save. Yep.
12 damage.
What did it get to hit?
He got a natural 20,
Okay. I just.
so
Okay.
all right. So the bolt finds your chest and it just like straight into your throat area. At this point, I just want to make you aware that it's going to be very difficult for you to speak. So I need you to make a will save if you want to cast anything that requires you to speak the spell.
Oh. Okay. So. Anything with an S. Got you.
All right. So
Schematic.
oh Jesus, man, that's another 20. Butter stuff underneath his feet, ineffective odd, by the way.
Great.
All of a sudden, another figure enters, walking slowly into the commotion. And I'm going to give the turn to Ennis. Ennis, at this point, you do climb up. I'm going to just go ahead and put you here.
Okay.
You climb up.
So,
You have an arrow, standing out from your shoulder blades, like.
I'm going to try and grapple.
You're gonna try to grapple.
Yeah.
All right, boy. Let's grapple.
That would be a strength check, right?
Yep.
So. Come on.
Ah.
I've been rolling horribly today.
You kind of grab onto the guy's leg, right? It's like, "Arr, arr," but because of the pain inflicted into your shoulder, you don't have enough strength to kind of move, and the guy's just looking down at you, unamused at this point, and he laughs at you. Look at this one. Oh, you're gonna make such a good jackal once once we sell you off for slavery. Clomax.
Bonus action, trident.
By the way, I just want to. This is. Come on. Polygon reveal. Because it's bugging the hell out of me, the fact that you have half of you out.
Better.
We're just seeing half of you. Sorry, back to the action.
22 to hit.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so you're going for the guy who's already kind of really bad.
Yes.
As you commune with the frenetic trident once again, this bluish figure kind of takes hold of it and it takes stead in his arms, and he just swipes it down onto him, and
11 points of damage.
And he grabs him, right, straight into the trident, lifts him, and as he kind of, it is a really cool moment because he kind of lifts it in the air, holds the trident and slams him down. By the way, none of you are seeing this blue figure. All you're seeing is this trident going. Okay. So that's one.
From what we could see, is it slightly apparent that someone is moving it?
You can,
or does it?
Odd, yes, Marin and Odd, you see this figure just watching the commotion happen. He just stands there with two, one blade down and the other one on his shoulder as he examines the situation. The other guy looking down at Ennis decides to use his crossbow, his longbow, to strike you. One thing you didn't realize, the longbow actually has blades attached at the exterior.
Can I still have more stuff to do.
All right, yes. So
before that was just my bonus action.
Sorry, my bad.
Don't worry.
I get so.
No. I know, understandable.
All right. Before he strikes Ennis, what are you doing?
My idea was that I'm just gonna leave the upstairs alone and just gonna walk.
So you're gonna kind of try to slide down or jump down?
I'll go down and walk a bit round and cast. Can I? I'm gonna hold on. I need to do a con save. So, nope, forget it.
All right, so you just basically just kind of shift yourself down.
Yeah, I tried to cast Sacred Flame.
No, it's not gonna.
No.
All right, so back to this bad guy, dude. He's inflicting damage onto Ennis. Ennis, that was a 23 to hit.
It hits.
All right, you take. Oh, this is brutal, man.
Fun.
All right, 12 damage. He just kind of slashes at your arms that is holding onto his legs. So basically, the upper part of your body is slashed. Do you want to keep grappling his leg at this point, or do you want to let go in pain? Would you like to make...
So, I make a Constitution save to see if I... I make a Constitution save to see if I can continue.
I will... Yeah, let's see.
Okay. So I continue to hold on.
All right. He kind of looks at you. It's like, you're brave, short guy. You're brave. We move on to you, Ennis, yeah? Right?
So...
No, hold on.
No.
Other guy. Sorry. So, the guy who's knocked prone, basically, he's kind of... At this point, he's hold on, wait. When it comes to the laughing thing, do I have to...
Yeah, you have a...
roll
you
at
can
the end of its turn.
roll it again at the end of... Yeah.
What do I have to roll? Help me out.
Wisdom 13.
Wisdom 13. My wisdom is okay. When I thought it wasn't a problem. All right, yeah. He finds composure. He's like, that wasn't funny, and he kind of starts pulling back, sword and shield, and starts shifting back a bit. Gives you an attack of opportunity.
Awesome. Since he's prone, do I have advantage?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Ooh,
Ooh.
You do it.
it's 19. And do I get sneak attack
You
since
have
I have
advantage.
advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you don't get sneak attack. It's
Good.
No?
no,
Okay.
because you're obviously in plain sight.
But I think it's one of I
No.
get sneak attack if I have advantage on the roll. You do
Rules-wise.
sneak attack. Let me try and share
So
this.
sneak attack is if you are not in plain sight or the person hasn't um, made awareness of your presence, you get an advantage on your roll. And this is where you sneak up on the person and make the attack. So you can't. He knows of you. He's aware of you. He's still looking at you and shifting back. So you can't really sneak attack.
Alright.
So
It says you can deal an extra blah 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 to one creature you hit if you have advantage on the attack roll.
Tlomax, a bit of ruling here.
No. The
Maybe-
ruling is he's correct, you're not.
All right, cool. All right, so no worries, don't worry. I mean, I'm a bit green. It's late. Let's. All right, so it's
13 damage.
13 damage. You go ahead and you just stab away at him, right? You just go into this frenzy. Yes, blood. Yes, more. As you lose yourself stabbing over and over and over and over and over, and you're lost in this loop of just, massacring this person.
That's not good.
Marin.
Okay, I will cast Acid Arrow on the archer who's still standing.
Okay. That hits.
Small note, did the one who just moved, did he take the 7 damage from the acid arrow as well? Apart from the initial 11?
He's dead.
The sneak
Oh.
attack guy died, okay.
He's dead. All right. So mathematics, you gotta love it. Okay. Cool. All right. Marin?
And I would like to bonus action shout, could we please just have a discussion?
The figure on the back, hearing this, moves forwards, more into plain sight. Yeah. I think I'd like a discussion. We need a unanimous party to agree to halt combat.
For me, I would say, okay, we can discuss, but prior to that, I would strike the one on top with the trident. But yes.
All right. Technically, it wouldn't be your turn. It would be Odd's, but he's just frenetically losing himself. Odd, can you please give me a will save to break out of this frenzy?
Oh god. It's a 14.
14. You slow down, exhausted. Your hands are in this auto
Yeah.
movement of like.
Uh,
Your arms are tired and exhausted. You've never experienced such exhaustion. Just like, and as both daggers kind of landed straight into an open, bloodied chest at this point of the corpse that you lay upon, just covered in blood, and the smell of the iron of the blood covers you. Um,
Uh,
No.
Uh,
you froze for a bit.
you froze.
The
Yeah.
smell of iron.
yeah, it's the kind of just like you look around.
I wipe the blood from my eyes.
With more blood on your hands.
More blood on my hands. Does one need to puke at this point?
Do you want to do a Constitution saving throw?
Sure.
Yeah, see.
Sure, this is not something he's used to. Okay, so calm. It's a 15.
Yeah, you hold your composure. Something dark within you almost doesn't allow this to happen. You know, you just feel like you want to, but something, you feel another thing inside just holding it down for you. Um,
God. Ugh.
the guy with both swords, he looks at the party and he's like, "Do I take that as discussion time?"
Let's discuss things.
Yeah.
Um, before he commences, the sword that he was holding on his shoulder, he just looks up and he throws it straight at the other guy, just pinning him straight into the chest. And, and he just falls and collapses dead. Ennis, do you let go of his leg at this point? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you let go of his leg.
Yeah, it goes like.
All right. All right.
No, you still the body.
Uh, I'm so sorry about all this. So, how can we make this right? You hear Beaky is like, "They're pulling me up first."
Yeah, I brandish up the rope and I go and help Beaky up. I'm holding the rope and I throw it down to her and I gesture to Tlomex.
Yeah, I'll go. I was going with him.
All right, so the floor is yours, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I'm sorry, are you with them? And I point at the
Dead pirate.
open up body that I left.
Yes, quite impressive, by the way. I would really You know what? You would really do well on my crew.
I doubt you'd want me on your crew.
You got potential, kid. And he winks at you.
Well, judging from that throw you just did, you've got a lot more than I do. What is your name? Might I ask?
Well, they call me Captain Hiccups.
Okay,
Interesting name.
that's suiting. I guess.
I would think so too.
Yeah. Why did you impale your own crewmate?
Well,
Might I ask?
it's a way of saying you don't want to be part of my team if you lose in a fight. I don't take losers.
Okay.
From the looks of it, and he looks kind of to all of you, he's like, he was gonna be dead anyway by your hands. I just wanted the satisfaction of just saying, you're fired.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that's a very original way of firing someone.
Indeed.
Yeah. Are you gonna let us go? Or are we going to be forced to be on your crew?
Well, I could use a good party like yourselves. The invitation's open. Alternatively, I mean, There could be a sense of commission that might interest you. Take it as if it's an opening invitation to be part of the crew, by just this one small favor I need. I've lost, and he looks around like, 3 of my men. I could use 5. I like the odds.
And what if we refuse?
Well, he looks at you. Little man, I have a whole crew waiting, and we will hunt you down.
Hmm. Doesn't seem like much of a choice we have. We were intending on going towards the next town. That was our initial plan.
Next town. Oh, you mean BrokeWood?
Yes,
Oh,
BrokeWood.
I'm heading there too. I am. I have a little meeting with a specific captain that I'd like to see. And he kind of brings his arm closer to his face and he's looking at it. And you realize that he's looking at a piece of kind of like a jewelry, but it doesn't look like a jewelry in its aesthetic per se. He kind of wears it as so. It's this golden ring with red crystals around.
Why? Uh, hmm. That's quite a peculiar ring you have there.
Why, thank you. This is this is something I managed to get from my voyages, and it is something that a particular individual in BrokeWood would like to get his hands on. But for a good price, he may have it.
Side question. The guy that he killed with one throw, was that the guy that we didn't touch yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy had done a ceremony though.
Oh,
Sorry, man.
He took 11 damage from the
Damage.
Asadero, but yeah, otherwise
But yeah,
untouched.
from the answer we can glean we are outmatched. Okay, so I'm trying to pick up the word. What are our options? Because we have some business to take care of and with ourselves. So if we can't tag along, can we go do our business, or do we have to be like a part of the crew where we have to just stick with you?
He looks at you and say, I would really love you on my crew. However, if that's not something that you desire, the sea is not for everyone. He turns his gaze over to Tlomax and says, I could use a big guy like you just for one small thing. I will pay you 100 gold for it, you know, just for acting as my bodyguard services now that I've lost my actual 3 useless bodyguards at this point. Yeah, so what do you think? And
Seems-
sailing to BrokeWood is faster than walking it.
Seems to be quite an interesting proposition from your end.
Mm-hmm.
And your band is quite intriguing. So,
How so, good giant? How so?
just something from it seems a bit familiar to me. It's just I cannot quite grasp as to what it is.
He kind of
But
looks down and
still.
is like, looks quite feminine.
Well, you never know the likes of men these days.
True, true. So, do we have a deal?
I cast message at Eric and I say, what do you think we should do? Are you okay with going along? You can reply to this message. Done?
Done.
Done? Are you with
So,
us?
so you send a message to Beaky, right?
Yes.
Um, the path is yours to take. I cannot come with you, though.
Okay. I think if there's time, I'll cast another message. It's time to Innis, and I'm gonna say, if we go, Vicky won't come with us. Do you think that's okay? You can reply to this message.
I'm not sure, but the odds might not be in our favor to refuse. So we might not have much of a choice.
Okay, I'm done messaging.
So, guys, I think since our paths have, have united with the pirates ones, but do we help them out a bit? It is some good pay, at least.
Never turn down an opportunity to make some gold. That's what I always say, and it is quicker to get there.
That's
Are
true.
are we within earshot of this guy?
Yeah, of course. He's listening to everything you're saying.
I
Sure.
turn over to him and tell him he heard Beaky, right? Shouting out from the hole. He knows she's there.
No,
You
she's
you
out of
you pulled
she's
her
out of the hole.
out, yeah.
We pulled out.
She's
Okay.
standing next to you.
I will say, considering how inactive my friend is here, if we were to accept, she cannot come. She is not able for this journey.
Aww. Then again, I'm not really fond of green hugging tree lovers. We're from the sea. So I take it that the rest of you accept as he kind of points his long sword across to everyone.
Yes, sure.
Except
We'll take you up on your offer.
He starts getting all excited and he grabs the longsword against his mouth and bites. And you kind of see blood dripping from the edge of his mouth as he kind of cut himself. Perfect! Perfect! Ah! And he lets go in one gash. It's like, oh, this way. And he starts moving towards Seekport. We're gonna hit on to a 5 minute break, everyone. Well done for that. Good encounter. We will be back in 5 minutes.
okay.
And we are back live, everyone. Hello. So, quite an encounter we had right there. So, um, Captain Hiccups is patiently waiting until you say your goodbyes to Beaky.
Beaky, can I have a word? And I pull her aside. Want to say it's been nice to meet you, and I just want to ask you, you're super powerful, and did anyone ever give you a hard time because you're a girl? And if so, what did you do about it?
I, I'm, I'm a bird-like creature, one of very few in the East. So, I've had my hard time. I've had moments where it was not easy to get by, but not because I was a girl. Do not let such weaknesses hold you back. And she kind of reaches into her side satchel and pulls out a parchment which is tied with these very eloquent knots around it. You could count about 5 or 6 knots holding the parchment tight. She hands it over to you. Do not
Thank
open
you.
do not open that until you are prepared to face certain truths. And she embraces you into a hug, almost like she almost takes a step back and then realizes like this is a moment, and she kind of moves in, hugs you. Thank you for being a true friend. I haven't had one in a while. I'm so sorry this was so brief. And she releases the embrace.
I don't think I've ever really had a friend. I hope I can come back and see you again someday. Thank you for
I will
this.
I will be waiting, Marin. I will remember you.
Likewise. See you later. Walk back.
As I see Becky's on her own, I start walking slowly towards her and say, Becky, can I have a small word, please? I
Her look of softness hardens now as you walk towards her, and the muscles in her body kind of tense as she allows you approach her.
I keep about 3 feet, 4 feet back, and I say, I I remember what happened. Something something clicked yesterday. I I'm so sorry, Becky.
Her gaze softens as the words sorry leave your lips. She reaches out her clawed hands softly, lifting your face as it kind of dropped with the sorry. And it's okay, Azazel. You're struggling, but your fates clearly are entwined with one that is beyond our realm. I hope you win this battle within and find peace. She kind of smiles and goes like, once you do, come find me, but not before.
I understand. Um, remember the journal you gave me?
How can I forget? I made it myself.
I You weren't with me, but that journal kept me sane. You you're my best friend. You always will be. And I take out my journal and I hand it to her and I say, take it, read at least the passages when we were young so that you can at least remember who I really am.
Very well, SSL. Very well.
I want it back when I come back.
Shoot, that sounds a childish laugh. One day, when you're better.
Turn around slowly and walk back to the others.
She kind of follows after you take a few steps ahead of her, and she makes her way towards Tlomax. She kind of pats him on the lower back. Good giant. A word, if I may?
You may. We go to the side.
Out of earshot of everyone, taking quite a few steps away from the group. Clomax, isn't it?
Yes.
Clomax, I heard your interest and I saw your interest in that jewelry piece that this Captain Hiccups has. Something in that pit called to me as the fight was going on. The Devourer, Tail. Yes.
What?
He waits for you. This is your path, and you need to walk this path. The choice is entirely yours, my friend, but what lies ahead may not be easy. I have spoken and communed many with gods, although I follow none. This is your one calling. There might be no going back if you choose it.
There never is. The calling is always to follow him, and will always be.
Be brave, good giants, be brave. As she kind of rubs your arm in a friendly manner, of course, like almost like this older person talking to you. Unfortunately, we will never meet again. It would not seem so. But
Regrettably,
it is just the
it
way
is.
of life.
So we'll meet again in the afterlife.
Perhaps. If the gods allow it. And she lowers her head, puts on her hood, and starts making her way away from the party back towards the direction you came from. Back towards the Red Horn Divide. All right. Now that the pleasantries of saying your byes and is over, can we get on board now? I have a crew awaiting to sail.
After you, Captain.
Ah, very well. Yes, after me. This way, and he leads you towards a direction where the port is. Already there's pirates gambling, you see, playing dice, others are brawling, and then there's this whole commotion of pirates, you see people drinking, others are, muttering in their drunken states, sea shanties. As the captain walks to the center of all this, there's this quiet hush. Everyone stops what they're doing. In fact, even during the brawl, there was just one guy just like drops him, right? Like, all right, crew, please say hello to our temporary members, as he points to all of you, and his hand extends, one by one, and he stops on Odd. It's like, oh yeah, you think I'm crazy? Wait till the horned one gets all woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Like, you don't want to mess with that guy. And that being said, everyone on the ship, we're gonna be on our way to BrokeWood. Everyone starts without question or even giving a yes sir or anything, starts packing their stuff and start going on board onto the ship. Captain makes his way on board up the plank and off sight onto this large vessel ship. The commotion around you, no one really greets you, no one really cares much, just packing their stuff onto their back, people just drowning their cups from ale into the ground and just carrying the kegs and straight back onto the ship. Everyone's making their way there. Anything you'd like to do before I continue?
Not particularly, I think, from my end.
Alright.
Unless, we want to huddle up in 5 minutes before we go on the ship.
Yeah, are we out of earshot? Yeah.
There's so much commotion, no one really cares, so you would assume no one's listening.
I'll say to the others, when we have a chance, we should discuss what's going on in private.
Bit of a warning, Odd. These people, they're gonna try and bring out you. You're probably gonna not feel well with them. If violence triggers you, you need to be extra careful.
I have a feeling.
And if something is going to happen, and you feel something's going to happen, tell us.
I would.
Should we have like a code word or a sign that you can tell us and we'll know what to do?
I'll say. I don't know.
Azazel?
No. Shh.
Yeah.
No. Something I wouldn't usually say. I feel normal. If I say that, I'm not feeling well. Fine.
Okay. So, you guys want to head on to the ship at this point?
Yep.
All right. So you head on. Sorry?
Say, Odd, do you want to like wash off some of that blood before we go on board?
Yeah, actually, Captain,
Okay.
do you mind if I take a dip real quick? I'm covered in your crew.
Sure. Lads, help the boy out. And you see these massive orcs just come down and grab you one from each arm and shove you straight in and shake you. You're just there. Exactly. They're holding you a bit too longer than you want to. Can you please make me a constitution save?
Oh, come on. Alright. Oh, that's an 8.
You swallow some water, and as they see that like no bubbles are kind of coming up anymore, they pull you out, and they shake you and hit you on the back a couple of times. The captain is there, ready with like this rag, and he starts wiping you slowly. I really thought that would actually trigger you and scare these big guys. Oh, he kind of pinches your little cheek. It's like, maybe something else will get you all. Like, and he kind of lets the rags on your face as he walks. You hear him walk away.
I see what your game is. Drag. Okay.
The orcs let you go and laugh and slowly pace away.
I compose myself. Sorry. Okay. Remind me never to ask the captain to take a dip. Not good.
No.
And I remember I have prestidigitation. I warm myself up, bring myself dry. Like, I should have done this before.
Maybe we need to try and keep Odd away from the captain because he's deliberately trying to trigger him.
Yes,
Yes.
please. I love that guy. He seems hilarious, but he's not good for me. He's like a drug, I think. Keep him away from me.
All right, so you set on board, and you do you want to mingle with the crew? Do you want to stay away from the crew? What's the plan here? Stay together. By the way, Tlomax, there's another Forborg on board.
Okay.
He has a peg leg, right? His nose is completely broken, like it's completely like sideways, and he's just kind of sweeping the floors, of the deck. You notice this? He pays no attention to you. And
If I see,
it's
since I see a Firbolg,
mhm.
I for sure would be going and talking to him at least to say hello for
Okay, sure.
the minimum.
If you want to, yeah,
No.
we can have an RP. Go.
Yeah, no. So I go close to him and I like to get his attention.
Hmm.
He's like, another Firbolg. I didn't think I would have seen one of us and on a ship.
Yeah, Captain saved me from other place. I attacked by, the trolls and stuff. And he's just kind of looking at you like, and wiping the floor.
Ah,
Hmm.
okay. Hmm.
Why you have deer head?
It's a trait of mine. It's a problem that I carry with me, and
I
not
ha-
good
I
for
have
lightning.
I have peg leg.
Ah. Your leg got cut off by the trolls, it seems. Or was it the captain?
No, I land shark. Uh,
Oh, big things.
yeah, big as he kind of put, with the thing is big as me.
A
Uh,
very big thing.
he kind of wipes his broken nose. You part of with us? Yes. Yeah.
For now, for
Oh,
now.
what you do? What you
Uh,
do? You.
if we want, we can hear you.
Yeah, Captain like people who.
It seems we hear the people who want to hear the captain.
Bodyguard then. And he's looking
Yeah.
around and saying, uh,
Ah, you the bodyguards that we killed.
he's looking for them, so he's like,
I think we left them
oh no,
behind.
oh,
Think-
oh well. New big bodyguard like you, welcome. And you hear the captain, don't bother him, he's sweeping the floors.
I retreat and go back to the group. Just keeping my eyes on him, just literally walking back.
And it's the one thing you notice, by the way, is the crew is made out of a mix of races, but no dwarfs, and the only human in sight is the captain.
Are there any other?
Sir? And you just see the sails come down. And the wind's already grasping them as the ship sets out of the port, sailing north. Odd.
Are there any other tieflings?
Yeah, there are actually a
Is it?
couple running around, yes.
Was it? And are they, disfigured like the Firbolg, or are they?
Well, one of them has like a horn missing, so basically you just see the bone kind of, without the rest of it. The other has like an eye patch, but nothing really serious. Another one, the few that you can see, like a few scars across. Um, so it's not as severe as a peg leg,
Yeah.
and a broken nose. But they look roughed up, they're not.
Uh-huh.
They look quite dangerous and devilish. So
No one knew like I am. Like no one. There doesn't seem to be a tiefling that seems to be new to this crew.
oh no, you are literally the fresh meat on board.
I'm gonna stay away from the other tieflings because I am a bit intimidated by their looks. I'm going to go to Marin and I'm going to say, uh, Marin, you love books, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Got any?
Sorry.
Have you got any? Have you seen any? Can you
Um,
steal some
um,
for me?
Unfortunately, I just gave away the only one I had. I gave Beaky my journal, and I was wondering if next time you go book hunting, you'd take me with you.
Yeah, sure. It
Yeah,
might
I'm
take
not.
a while, but from what Beaky was saying, BrokeWood seems like it's a pretty busy place. So maybe we'll see something there. But yeah, totally.
Hopefully, it's not broke down.
We'll see. I
Hold
am close to.
on, we're picking wind, and you actually feel the ship actually pick speed up ahead. Can everyone make me a dexterity saving, just so you make sure you're not kind of just like flung across the board?
Right? 18 for odd.
Nice.
That's 20.
That's 16.
Nice.
Yeah.
19. How are you?
We got our Codex quick.
Yeah, so exactly. You guys, this is like, all right. Then you find your footing, and the sails are as the ship picks speeds up ahead. After a couple of moments, you're for the first time you've who's ever been on a ship from you guys, by the way, in character?
Ship. I've not seen the sea, so
None of you. So this is
Yes, I don't remember it.
so this is the first time you're actually appreciating the moment of being on a ship, the smell of the salty sea in the air, the fresh breeze on your faces. It's a moment of wow for you guys. You've never experienced anything like this, and you're just kind of taking it in as the crew is just heavily just preparing for the next stop at BrokeWood. You're just there, just taking the moment. But the moment is immediately broken as you hear the captain's voice once again. Oi, big giant! I could use you in my quarters right now. We need to discuss some business. 100 gold! And at the sound of 100 gold, everyone kind of slows their pace and turn their face towards you in envy, like, fuck.
I'll go to his quarters then.
Sure.
I
Should
bring
someone go with
Ennis
you?
with me for
Yeah, I
sure.
was gonna say follow behind.
No, I'm bringing Ennis with me for sure.
All right. So, you go up deck, and the way the ship is kind of weirdly built, that it has like the main deck. It has an upper landing, and this is where his quarter is until you come on the other section, which basically takes you to the hull. And this is where his quarters is. nice door, you know. You have this really beautiful glass window, which is glass painted, with a skull of an orc on it. Um, and the door is ajar, so it's not open. So no one's guarding this door, so you're free to enter.
We go in.
Yeah.
As you enter in, the captain's already seated, feet up on his desk, and he's kind of playing with a dagger, which is violet in color. It's not. It's a weird metallic look of violet as he's spinning it on the desk. Um, his desk is pretty much empty. There's a quill, there's rolls of parchment neatly in a glass cabinet on the side. You can see his bunk practically as you walk in on your left. Well, let's discuss some business. I did not seem. I don't recall asking for Shorty to join along. Any reason? As his eyes kind of all of a sudden his pupils kind of narrow in, and there's this dangerous look in his eyes about him now.
We're one group, so.
Yeah.
But I see. I'm sorry. I know how to count. The group was 4. I see 2. 2.
We're good enough to speak.
Do I need to change the plan of maybe the Shorty being my big bodyguard?
Well, he can be your short bodyguard if you want, and I can be the big one.
He looks impressed by this. Well, I did have 3 bodyguards, but then again, they were thin as a stick, and he kind of, lifts the dagger up. It's like, even thinner than this. Well, on to business. I still will pay you 100 gold. That would be split 50-50 between you two, I guess.
Well, hold on. Well, 100 gold is fine, but like I said, we're a group, so it's the 4 of us who's. But yeah.
I am paying 100.
Good.
Split it as you will. You can even be a bit of a piratey like me and keep 50% of you and share the 50% with your group. Now, Mr. Dwarfy here can be all shh. Well, here's the plan. I need to meet a specific Teo, if I recall correctly his name is. Not a captain, but he's looking for this as he kind of wiggles the bracelet in his hand. He's asked me to fetch this for him. And I've sent word that I found it. He seems to be somewhere in the... what was it again? The Uncharted Seas with some crazy crew. Can you believe they have an uncle? Can you believe it? An uncle. Oh. But anyways. Well, there will be meeting me to exchange this for quite a beautiful penny. I want to make sure that there's no trouble and they don't cross me over. And, if I need you to bully a few of them, I can trust on you. You see, what I demonstrated back in the Flatlands, I don't normally do unless I'm hiring.
Well, the compensation is good for now. If something goes south, we'll see. But for now, I think you seem to be safe with us.
Perfect. Oh, and by the way, your horned friend, I know him.
Interesting.
In what way?
We have unfinished business, and I believe, and as he was looking at the violet dagger, I believe this was his. I make sure that this will go right through him if he crosses me. Deal?
Well, he won't cross you, but if you cross us,
Oh, the giant can pirate talk. I like this. I like this. And he bites into the dagger, and this time, as he bites once again, blood spews from the corner. Clearly, cuts are starting to reopen old wounds, but this time, like black blood drips down, and as it hits the desk, you hear tss, and he lets go quickly. He's like, ooh, this should be interesting. Off with you now. Off with you, darlings. Bye-bye. Close the door behind you. We have a deal.
I think we go out, I suppose, Ennis.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah, go out.
Okay.
We regroup with the rest.
As you, by the way, as you exit, you kind of find a few crew members just kind of all of a sudden just started just like, looking at their nails. The other one's kind of like cutting a potato, peeling it. Clearly they were trying to eavesdrop on the conversation.
I just stand near and just look down before just like shoving them and continue going down the stairs.
They look at you like with this despise of like, we could have done the job.
Captain is insane.
Tell me something new.
Does apparently have information on Odd.
That is true. It's something. Let's go with the rest and we'll discuss. I think it's a good way forward.
Yeah.
We might maybe get some more flashbacks.
Sorry.
Right. Okay.
So you head down next to your adventure party.
While Odd and I are by ourselves and they're talking to the captain, I ask Odd, by the way, about the book. Do you want a book to read or do you want a book to write in, like you had your journal?
Both, actually. I haven't read a good book in a while, so
I
I
haven't
thought
got any books to give you now, but I have some spare parchment if you want some. I
that
can
would
give you a
be
couple of sheets and
that would be amazing. Actually, I'd love to start, well, jotting down all the odd things that are happening to me.
I pull 4 sheets out of my backpack and hand them to him. I only have 1 quill and 1 bottle of ink, so we'll have to share, but anytime you want to write something, just let me know and I'll hand it off to you, okay?
Thank you so much, man. Good,
No problem.
I put the parchments in my backpack and I get out my bottle of wine. I think this calls for a small drink. Right?
I could use one on such a day.
Pop the cork open and I hand it to her immediately. Here, take.
Your future, whatever it holds.
I take out the whiskey. Hopefully not as dark as my past.
I drink to that.
Yeah. Take another swig. At this point, I think we see the others coming, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys want a drink?
You look like you could use one.
No, I'll take a drink.
I had the
don't-
whiskey to win this.
I don't
Oh,
drink much.
Oh, come on. Don't be a spoil sport. Take one for the team.
No.
I take a swig. Odd. Did the captain seem familiar to you? I thought maybe sugar something.
Well, he he he's quite an interesting character. I think I remember him. I just know that I seem to find him amusing more than I should.
Hmm.
Why?
He seems to think that he knew you. And he believes he owns a weapon that once belonged to you.
That thing that he's licking all the time?
Yes.
Not. I think it's another one. It's not the long sword. It's got a small purplish dagger.
Oh, purple dagger. Don, do I recall?
Because of the memory you had with Beaky, the dagger was purple that you cut her wings off.
Purple dagger.
Purple dagger.
Yeah, that's what I used.
I hand her
Uh,
back.
Use
the ring.
reunite. Yes. Go take it.
Okay.
As soon as I
Um,
see him, hold on. As soon as I see him doing that, I cast. Where is it? Calm emotions.
what do I feel?
No, it's DC save 15 from everyone within 20-foot radius.
Including the crew, I assume.
I don't know what you're doing, right? You don't.
Oh, yeah.
So if
So-
they fail the roll,
Yeah.
what happens?
Oh, this is what I. Here. I was looking for this one. Hold on.
Calm
No.
emotions. You
Yeah.
attempt to suppress strong emotions.
I choose to fail it.
I didn't know it was coming from him, but I rolled 6. So I think
So
okay.
the crew is like all of a sudden just this like all of a sudden they've never felt so relaxed in their life. You just notice that the atmosphere around you just kind of got lighter, you know.
Yeah.
No one's high, by the way.
Basically,
Yet.
I make it's the second part basically because they're not charmed or anything.
All right.
So
The voices stop.
Just reading, Tom.
Oh, it's okay.
It's not that it stops, right? It actually feels like it's aggravated and angry about this. But you don't, while you know it's there, it's just blabber to you, just noise. So you don't emotionally feel anything towards what it's saying to you or how harsh it's hissing at you. But you know for sure there's this uncomfortable feeling inside that it's not content with what just happened, and it wants to overtake this emotion. But you're zen, you know it's there, it's just noise.
Blah blah blah. I can't hear you. This is nice.
You say this out loud.
Yeah, this is just
All right.
a bin at this loony bin at this point. I can't hear you. Lomax, thank you, but keep that for when things are dire, because I can feel resentment
So
towards this.
for when you're good,
Yeah, when I'm normal.
for when you're normal.
Todd uses this moment to take in the sea and just for once in a very long time he's stress free. You see Odd smiling like an idiot at this point.
You're sailing very close to the shorelines, by the way. You're not an open sea.
Okay.
So basically, in this part of the map, it's kind of like this. You have two sides of the map. You can actually see the Elden Reaches. So this massive tree coverage on your left, mountains which are clearly untravelable. You know, you can't travel through them. And on your right, you see the flatlands. And as you make gaze, just in the distance, you see this magnificent city approaching closer and closer into view. If you even reach out your hand to see the size, it's already past your the size of your thumb. It's getting that close.
Go ahead.
Land ahoy, port soon in. And you see the crew getting ready, sort of like in their little zen moments, like, oh, okay, yeah, like, preparing to, get into port. So at this point, the sails come down, and the ship slows. The city now well into view. You have this beautiful architecture. It's like almost a fishing section, right? In the port, there's a couple of ships already set anchored in. Most of them look very similar to the one you're riding in, meaning its rarity and it's clearly of pirates, you would assume. Flags batting the black, you know. As it kind of reaches port, anchors down, and you just hear this massive splash on both sides as the anchors are let loose to set into the depths of the port sea. In matter of no time, the crew automatically they know what to do. They open the signs, put down the plank. People are already going down with their treasures and with merch stuff. Some of them are dressed differently now, like almost proper merchant clothing, as they're going down. And there's one particular person that just comes into view as you're seeing all this. It's like, oi, whoa, whoa, ho, stop! And it's a human. He's well dressed, quite eloquent clothing. It's like, I need to see Pat. Whoa, hey, where you going? And he pulls one right back in line. It's like, okay, hey, settle down. I know you're all excited to sell stuff, but I need to see a pass. And one of the crew kind of reaches Finn. It's like, you mean this one? I was like, let me see that. And he snatches his rolls open. Yep, that's the one. And he gives it back. It's like, okay, all good. Happy selling. Here we go. Oh, one by one. Okay, don't push me onto the sea. Funny. All right. I never really liked you lot. And most of the crew dismembers into the port and spreads wide into this section of the city, and the captain comes into view. There's only a few members left on board, just basically taking guard of the ship. All right. Here's the plan. Big guy. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I will summon you accordingly. Okay? We're still waiting for them to arrive. They haven't set port in yet. Haven't heard anything. So once they set in, I'll let you know, and we can do a little bit of a mingle. All right? And we get this deal done. You get your 100 gold, whatever. In the meantime, you can do whatever you want to do. Have fun.
Small thing, DM. This is the same day, or has the day passed?
No, same day.
Same day. Okay.
Same day. So it's kind of late morning at this point, right? It hasn't even hit across the afternoon. Um, so just a few hours passed.
Short dressed?
I'll speak to the group in the sense. You know the primary reason we came here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't know who we needed to speak to, right?
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
guy who's inspecting people for parts and stuff. Maybe he knows
Yeah,
a bit more.
I mean,
that's right. Yeah, we'll try and check it out, but otherwise,
I'm sure we can find a powerful healer. How many powerful healers would there be?
if everything goes, we don't find anything, at least tomorrow I can send message
Yeah.
to Beaky and get the name from her.
That would be great.
Did she know a name? I think she said we might find some people, but
I thought she knew the person, or at least had something about the person, but yeah.
Don't think she ever mentioned people specifically.
That's the thing. She never mentioned someone, but maybe she just didn't mention the name.
Shall we go ask the gentleman with the passport
Yeah.
pass thing? Yeah.
I think that's next step. Good. Go on.
As so you walk off the plank, you hear the captain go like, "Oh, have fun, my pretties, have fun." You kind of walk off the plank and you're making way into the dock. And you're just seeing this guy. He's like, "How many were they?" He's like, "I'm pretty sure I counted like 58 of them for sure. Like this, let's just say 58. I'm pretty sure."
It was 59, I think.
Why? Thank you. Well, you're part of the crew. You would know, right? So, okay, so 59. Okay. Name of ship. I didn't get the name of the ship.
I look. I think all four of us look back and search for the name.
I can read.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're actually very new to this ship, to this crew.
Okay,
so,
what's the captain's name? That would be enough.
Hiccups.
Hiccup.
Yeah.
All yours, and he kind of turns away and starts to waddle away.
Hey, whoa, wait.
Yeah, don't touch me.
No.
I've got no gold. I've got no gold. Hey.
As I said, new, so we aren't like them that much yet.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Do you know any powerful healers in the city?
Arcane.
Yeah.
Healers.
Arcane healers. Well, you might want to look for Samantha. I think her name is. She's been here a while. She heals without herbs, so you might want to look for her. Everyone kind of looks for her when it's a really serious issue. She doesn't look at, the smallest stuff, like pox and all that. So, you might want to look for her.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
where do you think we'll find her?
All right. So basically, the way you have to go is, and he kind of explains directions. That is like straight up, left, right, left, and like anyone who's going to be jotting this down or wanting him to repeat. Marin, you're just there, like, okay, all right. I do you have
In mind?
No, I'm trying to find the skill. Good lord.
What are you after?
Maybe investigation.
No. 1 second.
I think I'm.
Street, is it? No.
Street smarts, not
No.
nothing anymore.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing cartography, maybe. Maybe that's what you're thinking about.
Normally they just do intelligence checks
Mm-hmm. All right. Um.
because the skill isn't.
24.
All
Such
right.
intelligence.
Okay. You take this like it's easy
This
peasy.
is my jam.
This is easy peasy for you. Well done. All right. So you know where to head.
I just one more thing, if you wouldn't mind, kind sir. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I need to buy some more parchment, some ink, things like that. Is there a supply shop of an arcane nature nearby?
What is with you people in Arcane?
Is there a man?
The market is basically if you follow down the port and you go all the way with the shore, you'll find another port. That's where like the majority of the market starts up. That's where most of the crew went for you. I don't know if you realize that. However, if you're looking something more from the city, you may want to look for Alfred. Alfred will hook you up with anything arcane. Not sure about parchment. He might have a few just so you can scribble your spells or whatever. You look like the witchy type, so yeah, maybe that's what you're looking for.
Wizard. Wizard, not witch, wizard.
You're all the same to me. Okay, are we done here? I've got a lot to do.
Um,
Thank you
you
very much.
you said the others stole from you?
Did I say no, 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 no? I no,
Look,
no.
just open your hand, okay? And I slip him one gold piece. Like, this is for the information, for the trouble.
Why,
Calm down.
that's quite generous of you. And he kind of pockets the one gold into his, vest pocket. It's like, very generous of you. Um, welcome to the city. Yeah. All right. Bye. And he kind of like fast walks away from you as fast as possible, and he walks into a building, slams the door, and you just kind of hear like locking sounds at this point, and you kind of see him peer behind the window curtain, just like
And I look at him like,
Okay. From now on, no telling people that we're with Captain Hiccup.
yeah.
Unless we want to. Just saying.
I don't think we want that kind of reputation.
We need to intimidate someone, might give us advantage.
Yeah.
But I agree, we should keep it under wraps unless we feel it's really
That
Do
something
we
we want to
really
do.
want to be part of Hiccup's crew?
on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of bribing him or whatever I was saying. I just don't want to be associated with him.
Okay. So we try and find the Samantha.
Mhm.
Anyone managed to get the directions down?
So no,
All right.
we have the direction.
How-
So
We're I mean, we need the arcane healing for you two.
Yeah, we did not ask about. Well, guess.
Because we
Kind
can't
of
say,
stuff.
hello, my friend is being possessed by a demonic entity. Who can fix him? Sorry, okay. My friend is being possessed by demonic. But I guess that
Okay.
I guess an arcane healer would be a good place to start, and maybe
Yeah,
then if
they
it's,
went
you could
wrong.
point it to somebody else. So
Yeah.
we'll start off
probably.
with Samantha and then
Yeah.
okay,
go from
it's,
there.
that way, 3 blocks, and then we turn left.
all right, and we are heading into a 5 minute break, and we will continue this in 5 minutes, and we will straight off leave where you meet Samantha.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So we're back in 5 minutes. Tweets. And we are back. Hello, everyone. And we're into the last segment. It's going to be the conclusion segment here. So we won't be too long. So you guys actually meet up. You head towards the street. It's a quite nice city overall. People are friendly. Most of them are human race. Um, you know, uh, as you kind of make your way towards the direction, Marin's kind of like, okay, he said this way, he said that way, and you come across this kind of standalone building, with it's not even alleyways on the side. It's like two other streets. So it's quite a prominent building, quite big, about 2 stories tall. Um, Quite a fine architecture, like nothing you've ever seen before. With the notice saying Sandra's healing point.
Samantha or something.
Is Samantha friends with Sandra?
But he said it might be her name.
We'll start with S.
Yeah.
Yes, so close enough for us. So
Shall we go in?
I suppose there's a door.
No, you think? So
Nah, it's just,
basically the door is it's closed. There's a bell on the side that you can ring.
yeah. So we'll
If we look around, are there any signs or does anything look unusual on the outside?
One window kind of has a stand of different potions and all that. On the other side, something a bit more darkish. Kind of the minute you have to do it like a double take. Like, did you just see like a mouth kind of gasping for air in a vial, and all of these different weird organs from different races just there in these vials, almost alive.
Looks
my
like
big
someone knows
place.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
reach down and ring the bell.
All right, so you kind of go like ding ding ding.
Yep.
The door actually vanishes, like magic, like ripples down, which gives you way into the entrance. There's like a desk in the small area, and a young, beautiful, the complexion's beautiful of a woman, blonde hair, blue eyes. It's almost like this radiant, the vibe comes out of her of almost like an feeling, and she says, "Welcome, travelers. Please come in."
So what's the race? Human?
Human.
Human, okay. Okay, I think so. We go in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Odd walks
Yeah.
in.
So, you're Sandra or Samantha? Not sure. We were given.
I am Samantha.
Oh, okay.
Sandra is the owner of this
Oh,
fine facility. However, she has left it to me. I didn't have the heart to change the sign.
okay. Understandable.
She built quite a reputation around here in BrokeWood.
From her body language, do I sense something off with what she just said?
You,
Ominous.
do you
I
want
would-
to, do you want to roll for it?
I want to roll inside.
Sure.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, she seems fine to me. 9.
Ennis, you are suspicious of this, and even more so because you can almost see through her. The complexion is almost so transparent that you could see to the back where the wall is, the lines of the wood, if you really focus hard like you're doing. This might not be a person per se, it might be an apparition of sorts.
What the hell are you exactly?
I'm sorry. I don't quite understand your question.
Don't seem to be alive, normal. I can see through you, is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I don't really fully understand what you mean.
Oh,
Okay.
We need to see somebody who is
We're
highly
being,
skilled in the art of necromancy.
we're being
Something
played.
like that.
I see. Shall I set an appointment? As she kind of pulls the quill out of the ink pot and puts it against the parchment.
Yes, right now is convenient. Thank you.
we are quite pressed for time, so
I understand. Please, give me a few minutes. And she kind of like freezes in this moment, like, and you just hear like footsteps coming in, and the door kind of barges open, and the same person walks in, but this time a bit more like flesh looking. It's not so vibrant as the other person. She kind of snaps her fingers, like, and the whole thing just evaporates. What seems to be so urgent?
uh-huh.
Where
So,
to begin?
So,
But-
up to you, Ennis.
so we're affected by what a friend of ours described as a form of corruption. And I move kind of my shirt to change, and I show
She leans
the
in closer. It's like,
area, which the highly affected area.
how did you get that?
We were fighting something. We were fighting someone.
Something or someone? That looks like a something.
Someone,
It could
but they
seem to be
were
both.
Both.
All right.
empowered by
She
something.
she impatiently rolls up her sleeves, and out of her garment she pulls out like the small toolbox, sets it on the counter desk where the apparition was. All right, strip.
Okay. So he takes off. He takes off kind of his shirt, his chain armor.
Okay, and she's kind of pulling out this really like delicate, clean cloth, almost made out of silk, and she's putting these weird items, in a line there. With a wave of her hand, kind of like with a motion, the door reappears behind you, and this time you hear this kind of sealing it shut. We don't want anyone to see what's about to happen here.
We
Okay.
actually need a double cure, if that's okay with you, Tomax.
Yeah, you just
She quickly turns over. Double cure.
I show her the leg.
Oh, in the name of the gods old and new, you two.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Sure, it's gonna cost you. Strip.
Well, okay. 10 minutes later.
All right. So basically, while you're doing that, like Ennis, like you're pretty exposed at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She gives you this like cylinder-shaped piece of wood. She's like, "Okay, bite on that."
Okay.
All right, Ennis. This is how we're going to play the game. All right. You're going to roll,
Mm-hmm.
okay, for Constitution saves.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to roll 2. If you roll lower than me,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to cause a lot of pain.
Okay.
Okay, ready when you are, buddy.
All right. Alrighty.
Okay, this should be easy, she says. She's kind of inspecting, grabbing one of her weird-looking tools. So let me just bring up. Okay. Me. Okay, bite hard. This is where you
Okay.
roll. This is where you roll. And she kind of inserts the item underneath. That's pretty good. You're doing pretty well. You don't feel much of anything. All right. She kind of changes the tool. You kind of see like this purple pus almost left on the item. All right. This might sting a bit more than the other one. All right. Again, hold, bite down. Very good. You're doing really well. And as she's digging deeper and deeper in.
It's not gonna go well for
She
me.
Okay. All right. She changes the tool. This time you're feeling like this hot blood running down, but you're fine. Okay. Okay. Bite down again. It's just scraping further in. Oh, you're doing wonderful. Well done. Keep it up. Keep it up. You know. She kind of looks over to Tlomax and is like, "Are you soon done?
So,
I'll soon be ready here." At this point, she grabs these two wooden items and she's muttering this kind of ancient lingo magic as these two kind of light up, right? Okay, so we're gonna do, right? Bite down, last one. Come on, you got this, buddy. And as this touches your skin, excruciating pain burns right through you. Take 10 points of damage. That didn't work, Ennis. That didn't work. Let's try that again, okay? She's once again muttering this mumbo jumbo lingo. The things light up again, and she's going to place them again. Once again, this time it's almost like this spurt of like pus of purple bloats out of you. Another 10 points of damage, Ennis. I'm gonna take the last risk here. I can't go. If this is not gonna work this time, it probably won't work at all. She once again, like this time, she kind of cleans them off again, and she's the things light intensely again. Ennis, bite down. This did it. Once again, it goes over, and this kind of relief of cold enters your system, and it's. She says she kind of holds it on there for a moment, and as she kind of quickly releases as the magic fades from these two items, she's like, "Okay, it's done. You did well."
Thanks.
Okay. As you look down, you kind of see like the skin is back to normal. You just see this remains of like this purple pus, that had excruciated, and a bit of drops of blood down your chest. You can use the restroom facilities I have upstairs. It's up the stairs and the first door that you see. Okay, help yourself. She turns over to Tlomax and is like, "Okay, big boy, you're next."
DM question.
Yes?
We had a short rest.
You have not had a short rest.
Okay.
On the boat when we were, hanging out while they were sailing along.
No short rest.
No short rest.
No short rest.
It was
Okay.
you trying to, All right. So
Just
she.
hold on. If I am paralyzed, do I lose concentration on spells?
Yes.
Okay, so that's out of the question as well. Go for it.
Are you ready?
No, but go for it.
Okay. So she picks up the first tool that she used on Ennis, and she gives you a brand new cylinder to bite down on.
Seeing Ennis. No, yeah, this one for sure. Seeing Ennis. I'm gonna heal 9. Heal 9 at least. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see if I die or not.
All right. So she grabs the first tool. It's like, okay, bite down. Now she starts playing around with the scar on your leg.
Let's see. Okay.
All right. Very good. Very good. She puts down the item. You feel this hot, warm liquid going down as you look down. It's just your blood. All right. She picks up the next tool and she starts wiggling around. It's like, okay, bite. Bite down on it. You feel this massive burning sensation. Take 8 points of damage.
Okay.
All right. No, I couldn't get in there. I need to get past this to get the infection out. All right. We're going to do this again.
So, got 7.
Once again, this burning sensation once again goes through your foot. You almost claw down on one knee as she's like, no, I need you to stand. Oi, big guy, I need you to stand. Okay, we need to get through this.
I try and help him up.
Help him from the other side.
All right,
Before it goes next, I'll recast, re-heal myself.
Come on, buddy, you can do this. Come on.
Hey,
Okay.
heal. Good heal.
All right. Quickly, deep breaths. I need once you're done. Okay. Deep breaths. Bite, and she goes back into it. Head into it. It's just so excruciating at this point. 8 points of damage again. Big guy, I don't know what to say. Do you want to?
Oh, it needs to go, so we're continuing.
All right, so I'm taking that roll. Perfect. All right, there we go. And this pus of purple once again explodes. Kind of more thick and creamier than what Ennis's had. Okay, we're almost done. So she grabs the 2 magical wooden items. And she starts muttering again. She applies it. The excruciating pain. What? It's just. I need you to give me a will save at this point for you. Have you passed half your life HP?
Currently no. With the healing I did to myself, no. I'm not below half.
Okay, you've received 10 damage from this now.
Okay.
Where do we stand? Are we okay?
Now we're over half.
We're over half. I need you to make a will save to stay
So
conscious.
wisdom, con save, same thing.
Yeah, but this is just to keep yourself safe.
No, I'm conscious.
You're okay. All right. Okay, big boy. You saw how the dwarf taken it. This is not the easy part. And she kind of goes and she plies the thing again. Okay, very good. All right. This was a bit uncomfortable, but it actually wasn't so bad. Okay, I didn't quite get it. She moves back. I didn't quite get it. I just need to go again. All right. Last bit. If I get this one, we're over.
I die.
You take 10 points of damage.
I'm still alive.
Okay. Come on, buddy. You can do it.
Hold on.
You can do it.
Hold on. I heal for 7.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Oh, come on.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled a 5. Come on. I was there like, okay, we got this. It's like, take another 10 points of damage. She's kind of really frustrated.
No.
It's like,
I'm down.
you're down completely.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh,
She's like, okay, I won't be able to treat that. I thought the dwarf had it bad. This guy, something's. And she kind of packs her tools away. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. I can't help your forebulk here. As she claps it into the cloth. It's like, okay, I need to clean that for sure.
Can you at least get him up again?
She kind of looks over to her shelf of potions, like, this should kind of regain consciousness, but I won't be operating anymore on him. This is whatever he has is beyond at this point. I'm sorry.
Or
Do you have
down
any,
his throat.
any suggestions of how we can, help him?
Second peg like Fairborg.
It's what
See
I
you in
could
the future.
look at this point at the grave state it's in. I will need to see him in a week's time. We need it to heal the scabs I created and all this. It needs to reapply a layer that I can work back on. Make sure that thing doesn't get infected. Make sure it's tied properly and bandages. And she kind of puts a hand into her robe and gives you a roll of bandages. It's like, make sure you dress that on him. Hands it over to Mirren. Okay. The potion should revive him.
Thank you.
Out of game technicality, he goes back up to 1 health, 1 hit point.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if Mirren applies that to you when you're unconscious.
Right now.
She
So,
Ooh.
she
Okay,
she
what?
starts packing stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, big bud. I may have to see you in a week's time. Your friend here will explain.
Ah,
And
I
Ennis, did you come back?
heal myself a bit.
Yeah. So I've come back. How much do we owe you?
That, my friends, will be 15 silver
15 silver.
each.
All right. Each person, as in both me and.
15
Yeah.
for you, 15 for me.
All right. Yeah, that's
Actually,
fine.
because I didn't finish the job on you, big guy, I'll just charge you 10.
there's another matter which we might use your help in, or perhaps you can tell us where to go. Odd, would you like to explain your predicaments to the lady?
Yeah. Where to start? I get possessed a lot.
I don't sense there's no evil presence. So I
Odd.
is it possess, as in, do you lose consciousness and it takes over? Do you merge with some form of wraith entity? How do you mean possessed?
Well, basically, when I was 10, I got possessed for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Only recently I regained control of my body. I used to live close by, and ever since I came back, I've been hearing a voice, a very pestering and annoying, and
She kind of, with her finger, she kind of just taps it, and on her finger there's this little light that emits from it. It's like, and she's examining your eyes. Just follow the light for me, please. And
Okay.
as you're following, it's like, okay. She switches. It's like she turns it off from her finger. Can you recite your earliest memory from childhood?
yeah, I guess that have to be when I was 5. My parents were performing using puppets. It was a good memory. They used to do that a lot, but
Mm.
that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Nope, he's not possessed. She quickly turns over to Marin. Usually, people who are possessed barely have recollection of all memories. So, uh, dating so far back into his memory line, he's pretty okay. It looks to me. Um,
He doesn't remember anything. Well, most of anything within the past 10 years.
you might want to see a shrink for that, darling. I'm not a shrink.
And what
I'm a healer.
about the voice? What about the voice that tells him to attack people? What about that?
schizophrenia, madness.
All right. When I was 10, I was following these pages.
Okay.
I was finding pages scattered in the forest.
As
And
an
then when I turned,
as an actually you didn't imagine them; they were actually tangible.
well, I could feel them,
So they're tangible.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. And
And then when I,
at this point in your life, you were fine.
yeah, I was,
Small question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
The pages, because when we were going after Beaky, we were following the pages again. He was following the pages initially.
Mm-hmm.
Were we seeing
No.
them?
No.
Okay. Uh,
well, and then I saw a black void,
Mm-hmm.
two big red glowing eyes.
And you were 10.
I was 10.
Maybe an overreactive imagination. I don't want to sound cynical, but you have to understand this is not my expertise. Madness and psychosis and all this stuff.
In
I
front
have,
of us, he saw things that weren't there in front of us. He
Look,
saw pages again. He saw blood on his hands and in a book that we didn't see.
and right after I saw those two red eyes, I lost 10 years.
you lost
Doesn't sound like,
you lost
yeah,
what?
I cannot recollect 10 years. I saw those two big red eyes, and 10 years later, I woke up.
Okay.
Oh, and there's another thing.
Mm-hmm. She's getting a bit like frustrated at this point. Mm-hmm.
The person whose blood kind of corrupted us was using some kind of magical brooch. When this brooch came in contact with Odd, the voices became stronger, and he had a sudden urge to just kill.
Okay. Look, the best I can offer you is there is this specialist, right? That he might be able to tap into his conscious and unconscious mind. He does charge a hefty price, but he's the best in the new world. You want maybe to look for Morthos.
What?
I said you might want to look for Morthos. He's
Mortals.
He's quite a specialist in this. So you might want to find him. He's not too far from my shop, actually. He's just like 2-3 blocks down the line. And just see if he's there and see if he'll help you out.
Would you give me a moment? And Odd just bursts outside,
Okay.
and starts to, what's the word? Trying to take a breath. He's
hyperventilating.
So you're having a panic attack, basically.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm outside at this point. I'm not near the elevator. And I try to collect myself. And I walk back in. And I say, okay, I think we're done here. Maybe we will look for this Mortos you mentioned. Thank you so much for your help. And yes, good day to you. Yes, I slowly start backing up.
Well, good luck with your journey. Thank you for visiting. And
Bye.
See you in a week.
oh yes,
Uh,
don't forget. Apply those bandages, will you? Make sure it's a fresh dressing every time. Will you do be a
and,
dear?
yes, no problem. One last thing. Any bookshops nearby?
Um, Bookshops. Well, we have the public library. You can use
Okay.
that. That's more in the city square, so it's a couple of hours walk from here. Big city here. Bookshops to buy books. You could try the marketplace down at the Northern Port, but no actual bookshops, I'm afraid.
All right. Thank you very much for your time and for all your help. We'll see you next week. Thanks.
Pleasure. And she kind of waves her hand as the doppelganger image appearance comes back. Have a nice day.
Hey, Lomax, just a second. And I take one of the bandages and I bind it, around his leg and tie it off. And we'll replace this tomorrow, okay? I'll pull his trousers down or whatever he's wearing on his legs.
So at this point, it's pretty past midday,
Yeah.
right? What would you like to do next?
Odd turns to the others and says, "We're not gonna find Mortos.
You don't want to support us.
We are not going to find him.
Oh,
He's
you know him? Or
I
Did you do something to him?
Mortos. He visited me at
pre or
my
after the 10 years?
after the 10 years.
At the guild.
No, I was in the traveling circus before the guild. I was a bogus fortune teller. One day, I heard another tiefling named Mortos wanted a reading specifically for me, asking for my birth name. And when he entered the tent, he started mentioning this. He started talking gibberish. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but he awoke in the voice inside of me again. And first thing I heard was destroy. And there isn't much left of Mortos.
So the Mortos he's speaking of is not. It's different Mortos.
Feeling it's the same one. Honestly, I panicked and I didn't ask for deeply. Just hearing that name, I couldn't think straight. I just saw the flashes of red, crimson, blood.
If it's what you want.
Sorry?
If it's what you want, it's not like, well, we can, but it's not like we can force you to go there.
No,
He's saying Mortos is probably dead.
Yeah. So you don't want to go and see this Mortos?
I don't think there's anyone to see anymore.
Huh? Oh.
Yeah.
This happened a long time ago with you. So, Samantha was speaking like she knows he's around. So there's a fake Mortos or some weird stuff going on.
Maybe he's working with whatever is affecting me. If he's still alive,
Maybe a couple of us go and scope things out. Not odd, obviously.
would it be weird if one of you asked if he was a tiefling?
Could possibly like see him from the outside if there's a couple of windows.
You asked Samantha? I don't think we even asked where he was.
We did ask.
We got directions.
He's waiting. He's waiting.
Okay. All right. He definitely has something to do with this, according to the voice. He just told me he's waiting for me.
Up to you. It's from names. We're not going there, so
I mean, there's also the case that Lomax is on 1 hit point.
alright.
Yeah,
I healed
definitely.
myself a bit, so at least I
Okay,
held.
fine.
I'm not
But I'm not
9
ready
hit
for
points.
combat.
This is not something we should do now, that's for sure. But
We should rest. Think about it.
At least we can go to the market for the rest of the day and see. Go perusing. Maybe get some books.
There you are.
oh god.
You see Captain Hiccups walk towards you guys. Ah, big guy, you. Right here, right here. He has it, he wants it. We must join, He has it, we must join. Alright, so, big guy, we got word from Teo, and he's going to be arriving within the week or so, maybe even sooner. He's on the way. So, what I need from you is rest up, do a couple of push-ups in the meantime, get those muscles, and he kind of like shoulders you with his elbow, nudges you with his elbow, pump them up a bit, and we get something going on good. This is gonna make us rich. Well, me, anyways. I arranged for all 4 of you to stay at a very comfortable inn, the Scarlet Inn. Make sure you said that Mr. Hiccups has sent you, and it's all paid for. Don't worry. Yes, so enjoy your rest and stay. Big guy, change of plans. You're gonna have to come a bit alone. Seems like where we're going, if we're too obvious that we're a bit of a bully, we won't be so welcome. So,
Well, you brought us here, so
yes, I did. Yes, I did. And you see this crazy look in his eye. It's like, I really hope we get into a fight, though. I really hope. Something like maddening in his eyes as his pupils kind of go smaller and smaller. Anyways, and he snaps out of it, and you immediately see that like his pupils change with a blink. I'm going back to my ship. I will see you the next day. And he kind of like does this little hop away.
uh,
No. His leaving. Join. Take it.
Okay. Why would I want to join?
In who?
yeah. What?
Oh, I'm
You're being
Yeah.
odd.
yeah. I'm being normal.
Okay.
Not that
Do you
normal.
have
No,
to
not
tackle
that
me
normal.
now?
No. It's alright.
If you're normal, I can help you.
I'm sorry. It's my bad. I was trying to be funny. Ugh. It
It's your voice again.
it wants me to join.
Okay. It wants you to join him, and it knows that it takes control, more like take control in his presence, right?
Whose presence? Hiccups?
Hiccup's presence.
Or maybe it's the deck
So-
rather than Hiccup.
It's a force of self-preservation. It's trying to preserve itself, in a way.
So you think I shouldn't go?
No, don't go with Captain Hiccup, but
I think he's saying I should join Thomas.
No.
Summer?
Right.
Hiccup,
No,
whatever.
right.
Don't. The less time you spend Hiccup, the better.
Martha smothers. Waiting. Wait. We must join. We go.
Tos is waiting. Then you should join.
Marthas, go. Marthas, go. Awaken, hold on.
No.
Awaken, awaken. And Odd loses complete consciousness and collapses. These
What?
bright, these bright red eyes at this point take over your mind. You feel like you almost have a fever in sweat, and it's like a not a dream, but it's like you're in a different place. Azazel, you will do my bidding. So, Jake, I just need you to mute your mic for the rest of the session. Jake, Odd is completely unconscious. He's starting to shake, and this purplish, like, first it was white, but purplish pus is coming out of his mouth, foaming, almost like a seizure at this point. His eyes open and they roll back.
If
Guys,
I
what-
see him falling down, I'm gonna try and do a medicine check on him, see what can be done.
I run back up and I start banging on the door. Samantha!
I'm sorry, we are closed.
Lomax, can you help him?
I'm trying to do a medicine check, see if anything can be done with a
Oh,
25.
very high medicine check.
This is unfortunately beyond your technique. You've never dealt with something like this before at Lomax.
Well, I'll just try a healing word, see if anything happens, but other than that,
As you try healing word on him, Odd, the vision continues. Your friends, your new companions, they will be great sacrifice to me. What are you guys doing?
I think we take Odd and we go to the inn.
You're going to the
Scarlet Inn.
Scarlet Inn.
Yeah, Scarlet Inn.
Dragging him with us.
Trying to.
I lift up Odd.
Okay. And that's where we end our session. Thank you everyone who watched tonight's episode. You can unmute, by the way, Odd, if you want. Thank you so much everyone for watching this late. Thank my players for being so amazing at role-playing the campaign so far. Until next time, everyone, don't forget to follow us on PlayUp Malta on our Facebook page. You can also become a Patreon for as little as €3 per month to support us in all of what we do here on PlayUp Legends and PlayUp Malta. Also, we have our sponsors. We'd like to take the moment of thanking the Miniature Corner Studio, which make amazing 3D models. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's been a discount code going over and over again just for you to pick up. The Giants Tower, thank you so much for sponsoring us as well. And also Warmonger Games Malta. Thanks again, everyone. See you next session. We will be having the next DM session next Friday for Group 1's Session 3. No, sorry, Group 4, Session 3. Group 4. So don't miss out on that continuation. Thank you very much. Good night.
I feel normal.
I feel normal.